Right now, as you watch this, your brain is operating at a specific level of consciousness, not just awake or asleep, a precise, measurable level that determines how clearly you think, how deeply you feel, and how much of reality you're actually experiencing. Neuroscientists have now mapped 9 distinct states, from the deepest coma all the way to what researchers are calling cosmic awareness. Most people spend their entire lives never moving past level 4. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which level you're at, what each one feels like, and the exact science-backed method to unlock the one above it. This isn't speculation. Everything you're about to hear comes from peer-reviewed research, brain imaging studies, randomized clinical trials, findings published in journals like JAMA Psychiatry, PNAS, Science, and The Lancet. Let's start at the bottom. Level 1, coma, zero awareness. Brain activity nearly flat, no experience of time, pain, or self. Yet in 2006, Cambridge researchers discovered something that changed neuroscience forever. A patient classified as completely vegetative, unresponsive for months, was asked inside an fMRI scanner to imagine playing tennis. Her brain lit up, perfectly, identically to a fully conscious person, locked inside, aware, invisible from the outside. The lesson? Consciousness is not always visible. How to move up from level 1. This level is a medical state, not something you unlock through practice. But the research taught us something crucial. Consciousness can exist even when we can't detect it. That realization is what sparked the entire scientific search for higher states. Level 2, deep sleep. Every night you visit this level without knowing it. Deep, non-REM sleep is your brain's maintenance mode. Delta waves dominate. You're completely offline from the outside world. No experience, no sense of time passing. But here's what most people miss entirely. The quality of your deep sleep sets the ceiling for every higher level of consciousness you can access during the day. Poor deep sleep doesn't just make you tired. It chemically lowers your capacity for focus, creativity, emotional regulation, and awareness. How to unlock better level 2. Consistent sleep and wake time, even on weekends. No screens 60 minutes before bed. Cool dark room between 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. This single habit has more impact on your daily consciousness than almost any other practice. Without fixing this, nothing above it works properly. Level 3, dream state. 90 minutes after sleep, something paradoxical happens. Your brain wakes up. EEG readings during REM look almost identical to full wakefulness. Fast, complex, active. But you're not experiencing reality. You're generating it entirely from scratch. Every character, every scene, every emotion in your dream. Your brain is producing in real time with zero external input. Neuroscientists call this internally generated consciousness. And some researchers believe learning to become aware inside this state, what's called lucid dreaming, is one of the first genuine doorways into higher consciousness. How to unlock level 3. Practice reality checks throughout the day. Ask yourself, am I dreaming? And genuinely look for proof. Over time, this habit carries into sleep. Use the mild technique. Before sleep, repeat the intention, I will know when I'm dreaming. Studies show this significantly increases lucid dreaming frequency within 2 to 3 weeks. Level 4, normal waking awareness. And here we are, where most people live every single day, their entire lives. But here's what the research actually shows about this state. A Harvard study tracked people throughout their day. With random prompts asking one question, where is your mind right now? People were mind-wandering 47% of the time, nearly half your waking life. You're not here. You're replaying the past or rehearsing the future. And the finding that stopped researchers cold? A wandering mind is an unhappy mind, regardless of the activity. The moments people were mentally present were consistently happier than moments they were mentally absent. How to strengthen level 4. Single tasking. One task, one screen, no notifications. Start with just 20 minutes of completely undivided attention on one thing daily, reducing involuntary mind wandering and increasing moment-to-moment satisfaction. Level 5. Flow state. You've felt this before. You're doing something. Writing, sport, music, coding. And suddenly time disappears. The inner voice goes quiet. You stop monitoring yourself and just perform. That's flow, and it has a precise brain signature. EEG studies show increased frontal theta waves and a temporary quieting of the self-monitoring prefrontal cortex. Researchers call this transient hypofrontality, the part of your brain that judges you, second-guesses you, and worries what others think, temporarily goes offline, and you perform at your absolute peak. How to unlock level 5. The formula is specific. Find an activity at the very edge of your current ability. Not too easy, not overwhelming. Set one single clear goal before you begin. Eliminate all interruptions for a minimum of 90 minutes. That edge between challenge and skill. That precise point. is where flow lives, and the more you return to it, the easier it becomes to find. Level 6, hypnosis/trance. Level gets misunderstood constantly. Hypnosis is not sleep. You are fully awake. In this state, the brain becomes highly open to suggestion, but operating in a state of intensely focused inward attention, internal imagery, and behavioral change. People in hypnosis can experience pain differently, access memories more vividly, and shift habits that prove impossible to change in normal waking consciousness. The reason? At this level, the critical, analytical filter of the prefrontal cortex softens, and the deeper layers of mind become more accessible. How to unlock Level 6? Self-hypnosis and guided hypnosis recordings are the most accessible entry point. A consistent practice of 15 to 20 minutes of guided hypnosis before sleep, specifically using scripts focused on deep body relaxation and focused inner attention, can begin producing this state within 1 to 2 weeks for most people. Progressive muscle relaxation combined with breath counting is the most researched induction method. Level 7, meditative awareness. Now we enter territory most people never reach, and the neuroscience here is some of the most extraordinary ever recorded. Harvard researchers scanning long-term meditators found their brain regions for attention and self-awareness were physically thicker, as if meditation had literally grown new tissue. A 50-year-old meditator had the cortical density of someone decades younger. Then researchers studying Tibetan monks, some with over 10,000 hours of practice, recorded something unprecedented. During compassion meditation, these monks self-generated gamma wave activity at amplitudes never previously seen in the scientific literature. The fastest, most integrative brain oscillations humans can produce, sustained at will. And across multiple studies, experienced meditators show dramatically quieter default mode networks, even when they're not meditating. At the deepest levels, what ancient traditions call samadhi, something stranger happens. The brain stops processing me and the world as separate categories. The boundary dissolves. There is just awareness itself. No thinker, just thinking. How to unlock Level 7? Start with 10 minutes daily of breath-focused attention. Every time the mind wanders, and it will, simply return to the breath without judgment. That returning is the practice. The mind wandering is not failure. Brain imaging shows measurable structural changes after just 8 weeks of consistent practice. After months to years, the default mode quiets even outside of formal sessions. The practice begins living inside you. Consistency beats duration every time. 10 minutes daily outperforms 70 minutes once a week. Level 8, psychedelic. In 2016, researchers published brain imaging data from subjects under LSD. What they found was unprecedented. Connectivity between brain regions that never normally communicate suddenly exploded. Networks usually isolated. Visual centers, emotional systems, the default mode, merged into one massively integrated system. The experience correlating with this brain state? Ego dissolution. The felt sense of being a separate self temporarily vanished. And in 2021, a randomized clinical trial published in JAMA Psychiatry found 2 sessions of psilocybin-assisted therapy produced large, rapid, and lasting reductions in major depression. Effect sizes that years of daily antidepressants rarely match. The mechanism appears to be the same. By temporarily dissolving the rigid default mode structure, the mind gets a rare window to rewire itself. How to access Level 8 responsibly? For those in jurisdictions where clinical trials are accessible, psilocybin-assisted therapy is now in Phase 3 trials at major research institutions. For others, extended silent meditation retreats of 7 to 10 days have been shown to produce spontaneous altered states in experienced practitioners without any substances. Holotropic breathwork, extended circular breathing under guidance, can also produce psychedelic adjacent states through shifts in CO2 and oxygen alone. All clinical research was conducted in controlled settings with professional guidance. Always follow the legal and medical framework of your country. Level 9, cosmic awareness. At the very top, something reported across every culture, every religion, every era of human history. Complete unity. No separation between self and world. No time. No fear. Just an overwhelming clarity and peace that people consistently describe as more real than ordinary reality. Near-death researchers find these accounts remarkably consistent across people who have never met. Different countries, languages, and belief systems describing the same essential experience. How to approach Level 9? This level cannot be forced or scheduled, but it can be prepared for. The research shows it most reliably emerges after sustained meditation practice over years, during peak psychedelic experiences in clinical settings, easy or spontaneously during moments of complete presence and surrender. The preparation is everything you've known. Sleep, single tasking, flow, daily meditation, going deeper over time. The levels build on each other. You cannot skip floors. Most people assume the mind they have is the mind they're stuck with. The neuroscience says otherwise. Your brain is not a fixed object. It is a living system, shaped entirely by what you practice and what you pay attention to. Every level above where you are right now is not reserved for monks or researchers or people who had a near-death experience. It is built into your biology. Tonight, sleep well. Tomorrow, a 10 minutes of breath, one level at a time. Which level do you think you currently operate at most of the time? Drop it in the comments.